Hello and welcome to the walkthrough of my game Nestling. In this video I will talk a bit about the first 3 levels of the game that I finished, and I will show you how you complete them, and more importantly I will talk a little bit about my thoughts behind the levels, what I wanted to accomplish when I created them and what I was thinking when I designed them. And also a bit more general about the game, how it works, and what I wanted to accomplish with the game itself. So this is the first level of the game, and it's very simple. And I made this level to teach the player what the core mechanics are of the game. So I didn't want to make a conventional tutorial. Instead, I just felt I would make a few simple levels so the player can figure out for himself how the game works, and that is also connected to like the main experience I wanted the player to have when playing this game. This game is about figuring out how stuff works. You have to experiment, and not only in the first level when you learn the game, but also in the further levels when they get increasingly difficult. That's what you have to do as a player in this game. So what makes this game a little bit different than most other similar games is that the main character, which is a little nestling that will be born once I hatch this egg, you can't control the character yourself. So I'll show you. Once you hatch the egg, the bird is born and he starts to walk, and you have no control over him, so he will just sort of wander off, and if you don't do the right things he will die, like what just happened there. So as you can see, as I showed you, you interact with objects with the mouse and you click on them, and it's as in many other games, like you can see if an object is interactable or not by just hovering with the mouse cursor over it, and it will change into a hand. So in this level, obviously what you need to do is just click on this boulder here, and then you can hatch the nestling and you can walk safely across the boulder. So as you can see, this game is pretty slow paced. It's not like an action game in any sense. It's and maybe it's not something you want to play if you have not big patience with things like that. But I wanted to make a slow, cozy game, a game like where you feel like you want to be in this environment. You want to play around with it, and sometimes maybe then you feel a bit disappointed when you finish the level because you liked playing around with it. And so this is the second level. I'm quite happy with it, how it turned out. You see in this level the nestling starts out on a little island, so to speak, and he needs to get over here, but he's surrounded by some deadly obstacles here, and that's another thing that I wanted to sort of be incorporated in every level, is that like when the level starts, you're not supposed to know instantly what to do to create it. It will, when it starts, just the player is supposed to feel like, okay, I don't know what to do. So you have to get out there, you have to click on things and see how they work, in order to understand sort of how the nature or the environment, in the sense, works. So here we have a boulder as in the last level, but you can't, if you click on that, the first thing you do, that will just smash the egg and the little bird will die. And on the other hand, if you just click on the bird, he will walk off again and die. So what you need to do is see if there's something else you can interact with. And so we also have this fruit over here, and if you click on that, it fall down and sort of get in the way of the nestling, and that will make him turn. And then there's also this stalactite here. So as you can see, this level is also very simple, but the component that I added, and which is something that will be featured in many other levels, is that sometimes you will need to make the nestling turn, and you can do that by just placing obstacles in its way. And that's just like the second mechanic that I wanted to teach the player in a not too difficult way. And yeah, this is the third level. It's a little bit more tricky than the first two levels, but still on a quite basic level. So what I wanted to like the component I added in this level is that there are objects that will that will change the environment once you interact with them, but you can't directly interact with them. You have to let other objects do that. So in this case we have two buttons here, and this first button, if you press it, you can't click on it, but if you place something on it, it will lower this bridge here. So I can show you with this rock, for instance. But it only lowers as long as the button is pressed. So once something goes away from it, the button will pop up and the bridge will erase. And there's also another button over here. If you press that one, this sort of stone tablet or table here will spawn boulders. And yeah, I forgot to mention, I have this restart button here that's on every level. It's just that if you feel like you messed up or you want to start over from the beginning, and you can just press that and the level starts over. And yeah, for instance, I might want to do that in this case, because the nestling will surely walk down and die here from this spikes. So I'll just restart it. So what you need to do to finish this level is just first you put a boulder there, so the nestling will turn. And obviously you need to somehow figure out how to lower this bridge so the nestling can walk over it. The tricky part is that the button is beneath the bridge, but it's not that tricky once you realize you can spawn boulders with this one. And this is what most people will find a bit difficult, that if you do this, you get the button to be pressed down, but now you still have another hole with spikes here that will put an end to your plan of succeeding. So you need to start over, and you might have already figured out how you solve this, but I'll show you anyway. I also had, actually, since the game is so slow as it is, I had in some of the earlier versions, I had another button, like a fast forward button that you can click, and it would just speed up the game if you think you finished everything. But I actually did take it out for this version because I wasn't really happy with everything, how it turned out. But I might put it back in again. It depends. So yeah, sort of the trick with the, for instance, in this level to solve it, as you can see, is that you need a bit of patience, and that, I think, if you have this fast forward button, it might take away from that, and sometimes that can be a way of solving puzzles just by taking it slow. And I think many games today are not like that. It's everything has to happen fast, so I think this is like a step in a different direction, and this is a cozy, slow game, so that's part of the reason I took it out. So how you can see how you create this, finish this level. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can show you here, there's like a debugger. I can show you like the physics that are behind the scenes. This is like the physics objects for the physics engine that everything is modeled around, and yeah, it's nothing fancy. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching.